Coming up on SUTV, we'll tell you how SUU is commemorating Veterans Day.
And we'll tell you about the Thanksgiving Home program on campus. Stay tuned.
Welcome to SUTV News. I'm Grace Schultz.
And I'm Colton Gordon.
This week marks the beginning of the registration period for classes for next semester. Today, the 7th is for seniors, Friday the 10th is for juniors, Monday the 13th for sophomores, and Wednesday the 15th is for freshmen. Make sure to check with your academic advisors if you have any holds or questions about registration. Remember, classes fill up quickly, so don't put off registering until the last second.
November 10th is Veterans Day. SUU will be celebrating on Friday at 11 a.m. in the Great Hall of the Hunter Conference Center. All faculty, staff, students, and members of the Cedar City community are welcome to attend the event to honor those who have served.
Bread and Soup Night kicked off with Thunder 91's Guitars Unplugged. Our reporter Matthew House got the story.
Mose Kwan, a South Korean accounting student, is the winner of Guitars Unplugged.
I have been playing guitar for 5 years. I just practice by myself and I've never learned, so I just studied here guitar by the general class. I have never expected that it's my first competition and I got first prize, and actually I was very nervous, so I couldn't play very well because my finger was shaking.
Mose Kwan and his technical ability. They were saying that he was showing technique that you can rarely see. So they were really happy with the decision and awarding him the $1,000 guitar package from Whittlesticks.
First place, his technicality on his instrumentation was just a little bit higher than the second place. So that's why he got higher points on that.
There were 10 SUU students and Cedar City community members competing to win a $1,000 value Canadian guitar donated by sponsor Whittlesticks.
But overall, all the way 1 to 10, it wasn't as big of a difference as it's been in the past when I've judged. And that was pretty impressive this year, that it was so close all across the board. There wasn't a big gap.
Cal Rollins, manager of KSU Thunder 91.1, said, "We love doing this to give SUU students and community members a chance to perform and also for them to share their music, as well as to share non-perishable food with needy SUU students through the food pantry."
The final two shows of SUU's fall theater season are open this week. Assassins, a Stephen Sondheim musical about every person who has tried to kill a president, opened over last weekend and runs until Saturday. The show follows 9 historical figures as they attempt to succeed in assassinating a president. The most famous among them, James Wilkes Booth and Lee Harvey Oswald, are played by Trent Dolan and Eliza Carpenter. The show is in the Ain Studio Theater Friday at 7:30 and Saturday at 2 p.m. as well as 7:30. Second Studio, SUU student-run theater organization, is also opening its show Macbeth this weekend. Shakespeare's famous Scottish play features Abigail Nakin as the insane heir to the throne of Scotland. Macbeth opens in the Black Box Theater on Thursday at 7:30. The show runs through Saturday with another performance on November 13th. All performances are free to SUU students, faculty, and staff.
This year, the SUU community is reaching out to T-Birds who aren't able to go home for the holiday. Different community members are opening up their homes to make sure everyone has a good holiday. You can sign up on your SUU portal to be paired with a family in town. This will be open to all students.
Testing Center is one of many resources currently strained by the increase of students on campus. Our reporter Lizzie White talked to students about what should be done.
Southern Utah University's student body has grown at least 5% each year for the past 3 years. With an increase of students comes a need to expand resources on campus. One such resource that is currently being debated is the Testing Center.
The lines are too long. People have to wait a long time just to take a test, and it's just crowded in there. I don't like it at all.
The testing center has heard complaints regarding long lines, a lack of computers, and faculty misuse of its services. Running on $74,000 a year of education and general programs state-appropriated funds, as well as university revenue, the testing center will require an additional $50,000 a year to continue running as it does now. Student and faculty administrators are now trying to decide whether the testing center should remain in use. Supporters of the center have argued that students need the flexibility the testing center provides them with. Critics say that it is not helpful for most students and that they would rather have their tuition dollars at work elsewhere.
I really like it because I work, and my hours always change every week, and so, being able to have the testing center and, schedule my own tests is, really helpful.
I think we should keep the testing center. It has lots of great resources and opportunities, such as the tutoring lab, plus you can go there and get extra help on just about everything else.
The testing center is actually pretty helpful because that way you don't have to be rushed.
But every time I go there, I have to wait 3 hours, and that's really annoying.
I'm a fan of taking tests in the classroom.
I don't think that the testing center is used as frequently as it should be to keep it running. I know that a lot of times there's maybe one test going on there, and then sometimes it's really busy. So if they found a way to more efficiently run the testing center, I think that would be useful. But I think that we can all just take tests in class like we have since kindergarten.
If the center stays on campus, new solutions for funding must be found. Some possibilities have included charging late test fees to students taking their test on the last day it is available, not allowing faculty-proctored exams, and raising student fees. This prospect of raising fees has been met with mixed emotions from students and faculty.
I'd gratefully pay that if that means I can take the test whenever I need to.
I would support raising student fees in order to keep the testing center open.
I mean, it makes sense, but I also understand that students don't want more fees. So I'm always torn about more fees for things.
A lot of my teachers don't even have tests there, so if my student fees are going to a place that I don't have tests in, then it's kind of pointless.
If it's a substantial amount, then I guess just get rid of it because we're all just broke college students just trying to get by.
Charging the entire student body and taking funding away, which may not directly influence the students but indirectly influence the students, isn't okay. Now there's creating a student fee. So if we find a hybrid model where professors or departments are paying for the proctoring of these exams, I think it'd be a lot better.
It is Election Day in Cedar City. 4 Cedar City Council candidates are vying for 2 seats, including incumbent Ron Adams' current seat. Adams is running for re-election against Bruce Hughes, Scott Phillips, and Rich Gillette. Gillette was charged with a DUI in early September and did not make an appearance at the debate held 3 weeks ago. Phillips and Adams came away from the August primary with the strongest lead in the polls. In addition to the city council race, incumbent Mayor Miley Wilson is also facing a challenge from political newcomer Ryan Durfee. Durfee and Wilson faced off during the debate at SUU. There's no official polling data on who has the upper hand going into Election Day. Mail-in ballots for the election went out several weeks ago and had to be postmarked by yesterday. People who forgot to mail their ballots or would prefer to vote in person can visit the Cedar City offices at 10 North Main Street until 8 p.m. today. Coming up after the break, we'll tell you about a recent bomb threat at the Cedar City Walmart.
And we'll fix you in on the church shooting in Texas. Stay tuned.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello? That's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Travel is part of the American way of life.
When we're on vacation, we keep an eye out for anything that looks out of place.
Miss your bag.
When we travel from city to city, we pay attention to our surroundings.
Everyone plays a role in keeping our community safe.
Whether you're traveling for business or pleasure, be aware of your surroundings. If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
Listen up. Each year, hundreds of promising research studies go unfunded for breast cancer, for lung cancer, every cancer. The American Cancer Society has been behind nearly every breakthrough in recent history. But there's still more work to do. So let's make sure that no research is silenced. Let's make noise. Let's make noise. Yeah. And let's finish the fight.
The Cedar City Walmart is open again after a bomb threat Sunday afternoon. Walmart employee reported two men arguing in an RV on the northwest side of the parking lot at 2:30 Sunday. The employee approached the men, and one of them told the employee he had a bomb in the van. The building was immediately evacuated. The St. George Bomb Squad cleared the building around 3 hours later. The two men were taken into custody, but no charges are being filed. Police say one of the suspects was experiencing a mental health crisis, and the threat was taken out of context.
A Cedar City boy is in critical condition this afternoon after a four-wheeler accident last night. According to police, the 15-year-old boy on a four-wheeler attempted to slow down for a truck at the intersection of 1600 North and Lund Highway. The boy lost control and was thrown from the ATV in front of the truck. The truck stopped with the victim trapped partially underneath. The victim was life-flighted to Dixie Regional Medical Center. Police say speed and drugs or alcohol are not considered factors in the crash.
The damage caused by the fire is still causing problems across the Parowan Valley after several months. My co-anchor Grace Schultz went up to check out the aftermath.
It's been 4 months since the start of the Bryan Head fire, and the Parowan Valley is still feeling the burn.
The costs just keep mounting. I'll tell you, it made a believer out of me, because I thought, oh, this won't be as bad as people have said.
The 71,000-acre fire didn't come anywhere near Parowan, but its effects are being felt by landowners across the valley.
Day after day, we've had to just turn the water down the flood channel because it was too dirty to put into our systems.
The fire caused massive flooding, but the water coming off the burn scar is filled with sediment and ash that isn't usable for irrigation.
Well, there's some people that their whole farms on the gravity irrigation, so they've had tremendous losses and yield losses.
It will be 3 to 5 years before the forest returns strong enough to prevent floods like the kind that Parowan has seen, but more water coming off the mountain will help farmers in the long run.
There are going to be some positive things, but it's going to cost a lot of money to restore the infrastructure.
Within the burn scar itself, rehabilitation is already underway.
So right now we are still doing some of those burial implementations, and we'll soon step into the long-term process.
The Burned Area Emergency Response, or BEAR team, distinguishes between the severity of different burned areas.
You can see the areas that are in red. Those are the areas that are most critical. So those areas don't regrow back as quickly because they were burned so intense. So that's why we're stepping in and helping it out.
The Forest Service has been dropping seed and hay on the most heavily damaged areas while letting Mother Nature take its course in others.
Fire is a natural cycle. We're in a fire-adapted ecosystem. So Mother Nature knows how to take care of herself.
Within the burn scar, the Forest Service is actively reseeding 7,000 acres, about 10% of the total fire.
And it's devastating. It's really sad.
The estimated cost to fight the fire was $40 million, and rehabilitation efforts are expected to add hundreds of thousands to that number. Areas of the burn scar like this one, along Highway 143, won't see active rehabilitation efforts. However, the popular tourist area Yankee Meadow is already being reseeded and is now open to the public. For SUTV News, I'm Grace Schultz. The trial for the man accused of starting the Bryan Head fire is scheduled for early next year. Robert Ray Lyman's lawyer requested a 3-day jury trial for his client. Lyman pled not guilty to starting the fire in early October. Lyman is charged with 2 misdemeanors, 1 count for reckless burning and another for failing to obtain a permit. If convicted, Lyman could face up to 18 months in jail and a $3,500 fine. The Bryan Head fire started on June 17th next to Lyman's cabin on Highway 143.
The cause of a shooting at a church in Sutherland Springs, Texas is still under investigation today. 26 people were killed and another 20 injured when a gunman opened fire at First Baptist Church during their Sunday services. The gunman has now been identified as Devin Kelly. Kelly entered through the back of the building and fired until he got all the way to the front. He then continued shooting on his way out of the church. Outside the church, Kelly was shot by a bystander. He then led that man and another bystander on a car chase. The gunman crashed his car and was found dead by police a few hours later. Officials say the shooting was not racially or religiously motivated. Victims of the shooting ranged between the ages of 18 months and 77 years old.
Before the break, Amy gives us a look at today's weather.
And later, Dan will give us an update in sports. Stay tuned.
Hey T-Birds, I'm Amy Andre. Stay tuned for the weather segment to find out where I am.
Toxic chemicals and carcinogens are leaching into the environment. It's happening right where we live, work, and play. Everywhere. Cigarette butts are toxic waste. Let's stop the toxic litter. Learn more at rethinkbutts.org.
I'm hungry. I can't see the board.
Good morning, class. Everyone ready to learn today?
Of course they aren't ready. Across America, health barriers keep millions of disadvantaged school children from learning. Children's Health Fund is working to remove those barriers. But to really change the odds for these kids, we need your help. To find out how you can give every child a chance to be healthy and ready to learn, visit childrenshealthfund.org today.
Hi T-Birds, I'm Amy Andre and I'm out on the business squad where the Field of Flags is. The Field of Flags represents all 353 students that currently represent the military. So today is nice and sunny and the high is 49 degrees and the low is 18. And tomorrow is going to warm up a little bit and the high is 60 degrees and the low is 35. Down in St. George, it's a little bit warmer and the high is 70 degrees and the low is 39 for today. Tomorrow, the high will be 68 degrees with a low of 42. So it's pretty sunny, but it's still feeling pretty chilly outside. So let's throw it back to the desk. Are you guys excited that it's still sunny or are you looking forward to the snow?
I am excited it's not snowing. I got a new outfit yesterday, but it involves a short sleeve shirt.
Why don't you just put a jacket over the short sleeve?
You can't see the shirt if you're wearing a jacket.
If you leave the jacket unzipped, you can.
What color jacket do I wear with a yellow shirt?
Black.
I don't have a zippy one of those.
Oh, good.
Only
okay, you
hoodies.
should get a zippy one of those first off.
Okay, well, the shirt cost me $5, and I already had the pants, so I'm not spending more money on a jacket.
Well, I want it to snow because I'm feeling Christmas, so you're going to need to find a new outfit, I guess.
Well, no one asked you. Thanks for the weather update, Amy.
Dan, what do you have next for us in sports?
Well, well, my hair may be sticking out right now, to say the least, but that doesn't mean anything as coming up. Here is the scoop on sports on campus and far away from campus. Stick around for a little bit, please.
I'm hungry. I can't see the board.
Good morning, class. Everyone ready to learn today?
Of course they aren't ready. Across America, health barriers keep millions of disadvantaged school children from learning. Children's Health Fund is working to remove those barriers. But to really change the odds for these kids, we need your help. To find out how you can give every child a chance to be healthy and ready to learn, visit childrenshealthfund.org today.
Life is made of moments. Family. A drunk driver could take it all away. Keep your family safe on the road, because after all, nothing is more beautiful. Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Keep your family safe.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome to this Tuesday edition of SU Sports. We have been in November for a week now, and my face is getting scruffy, as you know, for No Shit November, and down to business we go. Well, first off, all sports teams are out of town this week. There's nothing going on campus, but I'll give you the scoop on what's coming up. The Birds were able to move up in both polls after dropping 47 on the North Dakota Hawks en route to their 5th straight win of the season as they took down the Hawks 47-21 to continue their push towards the playoffs. Now it's time to present the highlights, shall we? All right, to start off the scoring in this Big Sky showdown, running back James Falila punched it in to give the T-Birds a 7-0 lead. After that, Jay Green scored to increase the lead to 13-0. And in the second quarter now, the Thunderbirds were able to capitalize once again as Jay Green kept another scoring drive to make it a 27 game. And after another Hawks score, quarterback Patrick Tyler threw a stunning 13-yard score to Alex Croyle to make it a 27-14 game at the half. As we go to the third quarter now, Jay Green got his third touchdown of the night to make it a 34-21 game before Terrence Beasley to put the game out of reach for good with a 51-yard dash to the end zone to make it a 40-21 game at the end of the third. Then the Tyler to Croyle combo struck again to solidify a final score in the fourth quarter to make it 47-21, like I said. The Thunderbirds scored first on the night and to take the lead, and they never lost it. They will take on the California Aggies, who, on the other hand, have been struggling for this season and are looking for something to go their way. These two teams face off against each other on Saturday at Davis's home turf. Hope to see you there. And the women's volleyball squad went back to earth after an exciting win over the Idaho State Bengals on Thursday as they fell to the Weeb State Wildcats 3-0 on Saturday. Here's what went down. Jan Kaniavula led the team with 11 kills. Mikhail Evans was able to get 7, and Maggie Fafita had 6, but she carried the team in digs with 11. And that is all for these highlights. And they have 2 games left. They have 2 games left on the season, as they could currently stand at a forgettable 2-12 in conference play and a 7-19 overall record on the season. Not looking great for these ladies, but they went for it. In one of the sad stories that just broke, Roy Halladay was killed in a plane crash today at the age of 40. The longtime Blue Jays and Phillies star tossed a perfect game in 2010 during the playoffs against the Cincinnati Reds, and proud of that, he tossed a no-hitter in the regular season of the same year. He retired from baseball 3 years later. Before that, he was a prominent contender for awards and is known as one of the best pitchers ever. All thoughts and prayers are with his family and friends at this time. We will miss you, Doc, and thanks for the memories. Well, that is all for the sports today. Hey guys, is my beard growing another beard or what? It's growing really huge.
Your beard is growing a beard?
Another beard? I think you should be concerned if your beard is growing another beard.
I think you got to work on the first beard first.
Yeah, beard 1, then the other beard. Maybe
if it comes to it.
If it comes to it.
Yeah, one beard at a time, Dan. You got it.
One beard at a time.
Thanks for the update, Dan. Coming up, we'll tell you about the International Food Fair.
And we'll tell you about the updated entrance fees for national parks. Stay tuned.
Life is made of moments. Family. A drunk driver could take it all away. Keep your family safe on the road, because after all, nothing is more beautiful. Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Keep your family safe.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
For 3 months, I was being treated for high blood pressure and migraines, which were actually the symptoms. The cause was kidney disease. If you were a member of one of those high-risk groups, I would have your kidney function checked. Early detection can prevent further kidney damage. It was amazing even to my doctor how much diet impacted my personal disease. The power to reduce risk for kidney disease is in your hands. I just feel that my whole life has come back to me.
Think you found every
The spot you missed could be a killer. That spot on your skin could be skin cancer. If you're a man over 50, you're in a group most likely to develop skin cancer, including melanoma, the kind that kills one person every hour. That's why your best shot is to check for a spot. It's easy. Follow through and check your skin. Go to spotskincancer.org to find out how. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
The Cedar City Temple is officially open. The 17th Utah Temple opened on October 27th and drew over 18,000 people in its first weekend. The temple opening is expected to draw as many as 200,000 people over the next 3 weeks. The new temple is 42,000 square feet and features woodwork and art from around the world. The temple is open for public viewing until November 18th. Its official dedication is December 10th. Tours of the temple during the open house are already full, but walk-ins are welcome. More information can be found at lds-church-temples.org.
SU's title as University of the Parks may be a lot more expensive next year. The Trump administration announced last week it is considering huge entrance fee increases to 4 southern Utah parks. The price hike would make it $70 per car, $50 per motorcycle, and $30 per person. Fees at Arches, Canyonlands, Bryce Canyon, and Zion would all go up. The increased fee would be charged during the busiest season at the parks, most likely from May until September. The proposed increase is meant to help offset the growing cost of maintaining national parks that are seeing more and more visitors every year. Raising the entrance fee could also help offset President Donald Trump's reduction of the national parks budget. The 30-day comment period on the proposal is open from now until November the 23rd.
Astronomers are shocked as a new planet discovery breaks news. Planet NGTS-1b was discovered this week by a group of international collaborative researchers. The researchers found the planet to be 986 degrees hot and orbiting in close proximity to its star, M-Dwarf. The star and the planet are located in 600 light years away in the Milky Way galaxy. Record-breaking, the planet is reported to be the size of Jupiter and the largest planet compared to the size of its star to ever be found.
Our reporter Dan Loper took a trip around the world at SU's International Food Fair this week. Let's check it out.
On Wednesday night, the International Student Ambassador Organization was hosting its annual International Food Fair for all students to try samples of different countries.
Well, this event's so important because it's one of ISA's biggest events, and it's most students attended, and we just like to get as much people here, have them try a whole bunch of different foods from every culture, and have a different experience.
However, food wasn't the only highlight of the night, as there were several stations, including a photo booth, games, and henna. That's right, henna. Josie Longhorn, a pre-nursing major from Fillmore, was one of the people in charge of the portion where you paint your own arms. In addition to there was a fashion show displayed by students from different countries from all over the place. Plus, there were entertainers to keep the event busy and occupied, as well as getting many of the people that tried all the countries' different foods in the process to keep them entertained as well. There was a performance done by many acts, including DJ Alex Call, who was a freshman sociology major, and he was nervous to show off his DJ talent on Wednesday night, but he was proud of what he has done to win people over.
What was the point? Yeah. So I decided to play some dance music from around the world, like from Korea, from India, and from Mexico, because I thought that a lot of people weren't aware of this kind of dance music, and this is actually what I want to play as a legit DJ. Wow.
And for SUTV News, I'm Dan Loper.
Today, I'm Colton Golden.
I'm Dan Loper.
And I'm Grace Schultz. Thanks for taking the time to tune in this afternoon. Tune in on Thursday for a Thanksgiving-themed other show.
Boy!